Well, time for another day of saying something about stuff that I remember when I was younger, much younger, like about 20 some years ago. People, I'd always hear them saying, "Oh, it's all gonna crash, it's all gonna crash," and I'd say, "Yeah, no it ain't, not right now anyway." Sometimes, I think once or twice I said that. I was thinking, why? Well, it can't keep going. Why not? Those are fun days. I could just say all the goody things all day long. You know what? The days are gone. Old Mitt Romney, billionaire, creator of Romneycare, grandfather to Obamacare, the worst scam in the world. This conservative congressman thinks that Mitt Romney will run again and win. Let me tell you a secret. If there's a 2016 presidential election, I'll eat my hat. We should be in a full-blown, no-holds-barred, balls to the walls, take no prisoners war. And I'm not joking about all that. We may start out nice. We might even put on a pretense for a little while of Biden by the Geneva Convention. But I'm afraid that it's probably going to boil down to kill or be killed. No surrender. No quarter asked for, no quarter given. What can I say? It's all a part of destroying this filthy insanity out of our country. Unfortunately, I don't think the world's going to get away with less than 100 million dead. And that's just our side, that's just Americans. That's not including the foreign invaders. I don't know how many of them are going to die. As with all wars, the civilians are going to be the ones who do the most dying. I'm sitting here watching this. Some of these videos on the Israeli war.
As Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warns, quote, one of the young men held dual American and Israeli citizenship. And moments ago, we did get new images tonight. Explosions from Israeli airstrikes in Gaza. Reportedly 20 of them, mainly against Hamas training compounds. Senior international correspondent Ben Wiedemann joins us now. Ben is in the West Bank, and Ben, we just showed the pictures right now of those explosions in Gaza. Israel clearly beginning to take retaliatory action. What can you tell us about this?
Well, I guess to the detractors of the Iron Dome, watch this, this is pretty cool. Man, I'll tell you what, sitting there watching all this is just freaking amazing. It's amazing to sit here and watch how it's like we'll read a verse in the Bible that says, "And he shall stand in the glorious land, and it shall be consumed by his hand." Well, nobody seems to realize it takes about 3.5 years for crap like that to happen, minimum. And it doesn't, it always says, "and it shall be consumed by the hand." Well, then we as people, we run around thinking consumed. Well, I consume a lot of things, so there's consumer goods, and there's consumption. I eat. When I eat, I consume food. Get your heads out of your ass. People die. And this was just a light thing. Consider this. I think Obama is the guy who's standing in this country and consuming it. Well, who is he? Well, I don't know. His head's all golden. So maybe it's Nebuchadnezzar, the spirit of it, consuming our land. It's hard for me to think that Jesus Christ will do that, but then we got to think, if God's going to do justice in the land, you need to consider verse in the Old Testament. God says, "Think not that I shall not do such a thing, for I shall surely do it." And in another verse, "I created the waster to wreak havoc." I created the destroyer, I created the waster. And here it is. "And I created the evil. I created evil, and I shall raise up evil, and I shall watch over it." That's God watching over evil. I was watching an old TV show once, old movie about them trying to do Hitler in, and he comes stumbling after the bomb blast went off, and he comes stumbling out of the bunker, and there's I forget, a woman standing up there, and he comes stumbling out there, and he says, "I am protected by the hand of God." Well, nobody would doubt that Hitler was an evil man. And the funny thing of it is, I wouldn't doubt that he said that somewhere in his life. People need to, Christians need to grow up. I can remember 20 years ago when I started talking to Christians about, I started talking about the Bible for sure, for real. And I can remember them saying, "God is a God of love. He would never do anything like that." Really? That's why God sent an angel of death upon the Assyrian army, and in one night killed, 140,000 of them? You got to be kidding me. God is a God of love. He sent an angel of death because he told the Israelites, "You're my people. I'm going to stand up for you." And on we could go with these things, So everybody's got to understand that God is definitely God of love. God is not the God of love. He is love. So, yeah, he loves people. He doesn't want people to mess up, and he doesn't want them to do things that he didn't make them that they should do. So, yeah, this is wild. A lot of people would say, "Well, this isn't God, this isn't God." God predicted it. If God says, "Think not that I shall not do this thing, for I shall surely do it." Somebody else said something to me once, God, he would never do all these things. Okay, so like he's just sitting back watching TV, right? I'm glad that there are people that are naive out there. I really am. I look at them and I see how blessed they are, and I think to myself, my eyes are open, and this isn't a blessing. It's a curse to see these things and to know that these things, where they lead to, where they're going to end up at. When I say we're going to be invaded, I mean we're going to be invaded. When I say we're going to be in a knockdown, drag out, there ain't no other way that it's going to happen. It's just not. It's not going to happen any other way. Hey, It's not going to happen any other way. Like I said, I'm glad there are naive idiots out there. I'm glad they're blessed, but they're going to be slaughtered just as well. And they're gonna die going, oh, what did I do? What did I? You didn't do nothing. You just stood around while other people got hurt. That's what you did. That's as much as sin as hurting people. Mitt Romney. I look at him as one of the elites. There's no way I'd be for him. You know. I see NBC is bolting at full blast. They're just like, wow, this guy is completely incapable of running things. Well, nice for you to be naive about it. He's doing it on purpose. He run around. He goes to a party while people are dying from diseases in the little mini concentration camps he's built all over the place. You know, the ones with 200, 300, 400 people in. Well, you know, they're refugees. Yes, they're refugees packed together, incubating their diseases. Yeah. I was kind of wondering how the heck they were going to spread disease in this country. Well, that works pretty good. I'm surprised they haven't tried to get the bubonic plague up here. Which, by the way, you know is alive and well in Mexico. You didn't know that? How you do? I guess they're scared of the bubonic plague. Costco toast. I'm gonna read the comments here. No more Costco for me. Cancel my membership. Look at that. Cancel my membership. You think? Oh, of course. Few more comments. Just goes to show you the big corporations really run our country. Don't buy from Costco's. I'll take my shopping to Sam's Club. Cancel mine today. You gotta admit, what Costco did resulted in a lot more book sales for D'Souza than he would have gotten had they not pulled the book. Everyone should boycott. Look at that. I mean, there's burning Costco. You know, I got one down here. Just went to Costco's website. 12,000 comments, all of them against. So Costco comes out with this little comeback. Oh, we didn't pull it for. We didn't pull it. We just. That's about all I could hear. That's about all I read. I was like, oh, I think I ain't even gonna read that. No matter what they say, they did it for the politics, and it's gonna bite them. That's too bad. I wanted to order a big old order from them over online. Should Sarah Palin replace Obama as president? If there was a method to do that, I'd say absolutely. If for no other reason, she's a babe, and she definitely can't do worse than him. Look at these people. This is naive. Yes, she should. Okay, let's just make her queen. Works for me. Hey, this was that a video? Maybe I can play that. See, here's what I don't like. See, this guy, she is right. And letting our freedoms go is a bad thing. We'll never get them back. Yeah, we will. We're just going to have to fight for them. It's going to take guns and bombs and bullets, but we'll get them back. I wrote this in my internet, on my website, and several other places. No nation of 100 million or more has been successfully invaded by a foreign force. Now, I'm sure that these powers that be know this, so they think that they're going to infiltrate all these people. I said, that's one of my scenarios. Well, it's my only scenario. Bringing in subversives. Wreaking as much havoc as possible. But the one thing they're going to fail at, they're not going to bring in an initial force of 10 million. In fact, I think it's logistically impossible at this time. I don't think mankind has a capability to put a 10 million man invasion force on the ground immediately. I don't even think there might be 10 million troops in the world, but I just don't think it's going to happen. The best they'll get is 10 million rabble. Well, as usual, no music. Just me shutting it off.